Hey folks, welcome back to Real Estate Investing Unmasked. Today I'm going to install a pocket door. Let me show you how that's done. Alright, here is our pocket door area. This is going to be between a bathroom and a closet. This board, well, it's level now. It's level because I took out the screws. But it was off a little bit. The bottom was too far to the right. And so I had to take out the screws. It was already pre-built before I got here. But as you can see right now, it looks pretty good. Maybe it can come out a little bit more toward my left, and that will make it perfect. So I'm going to move it over where it's supposed to be. Anytime you're putting in a pocket door, which, there you go, there's the frame. Anytime you're putting in a pocket door, you want everything to be flush and plumb. So you want it to be level going this way, and you want it level going this way. So we're gonna make a small adjustment there. I haven't looked at this one yet. Let's see how this one is doing. Well, you know what? That actually looks really good. That one looks good. So this one's ready to go. So that's one side. Let's try this other side. It's off by a little bit. That needs to. Okay, this can be shimmed out because it's just coming toward the right. So at least it doesn't have to go back toward the left. So that can be shimmed out. This over here you can't shim out when it's when it's not level, when it's not plumb. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that fixed. Once it's level, both this way and this way, then we can start installing that pocket door.
On this portion of the pocket door, it has brackets on the bottom to attach it to the floor. So I'm going to have to attach it down there and tack it to the wall on this side. And you also have to install the railing up above.
Good size level. So right now it looks like it's leaning. There's a little bump right here, so when the door closes on the inside, it hits that little rubber bumper. I had the level up against that, and I was like, why is it out of whack? So make sure you don't get caught up on that. Make sure it's plumb. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna put in a couple more screws, and we're in business. Make sure it stays in the right spot. Now, one thing you should also do is make sure that that is level up there. And wear safety glasses. It looks like it needs to come down just a little bit on my right side. So I'm going to shim it. Put some shims. So anytime you're installing a door, doesn't matter whether it's a door like that or a door like this, you always want to make sure you have plenty of these lying around, because one package of these can go real quick. Now up here where this board comes together with this, there are actually two holes back here that I'll show you, where you put the screws in to attach this to this. That holds these two boards perfectly apart so that door can go in and out without any problems. And then over here on this side, you can actually put a screw through. You can put a screw through here and through here to go into this top board. It probably only need one if you're going to do it at all. The weight of the door should hold it down, but I'm probably going to put one in just to hold it in place. Just make sure you pre-drill your holes, because a lot of this stuff is very, very weak wood. So they keep it so cheap. Another useful thing with these doors is up on this glide, on this slide, it actually has a bracket that you can use to put it in place, as long as the screw doesn't pop out. So you have the bracket. This is the bracket that will hold it in place so that you can tack it up. what I have opted to do on this is I've got 1-inch boards spread over everywhere I'm going to put a screw, and I'm going to go up into it that way. If I had a 1-inch board that would go the whole length, I would put that in. That'd be the proper way. Where we are, we're at least an hour away from a hardware store, so we're going to make do with what we got, and that's what we got. That ball in the middle is perfect. We've got it right where we need it. So once you have all the screws up, tacking this rail to the top, and I got my square, you can go up and check and be like, okay, make sure that everything's in line so that when the drywall is installed, we don't have any gaps that are going to cause any breaks. That's on both sides, which if you have it on one, you should have it on both. We can make sure that everything is level here. All right, that's flush. And right now, that looks perfect. So here's the thing, guys. When you're doing your framework, if you make sure that everything is flush and plumb, then most of this becomes much easier and much faster. The other thing to keep in mind is once you've got the top rail in, you've got the back side, you've got this in line right here. I'm going to take my level and put it up against the bottom, the base, and make sure that this wall and this are also in a line on the bottom, which they should be. I probably could just put a screw straight in, but for an exercise of caution, I'm still going to take my level and make sure it's lined up the way I want it lined up. It's just, if you want it done right, if you want it done the best you can, you measure a lot. So that's what we're going to do, and other than that, this is almost done. We got to pull off this little cap here, and there's another one down here that keeps the space on this perfect while you're in transit and whatnot, keeps it from breaking. And so we'll take those two those two off. We'll make sure the bottom is anchored in. We'll put in the we'll put on the door. We'll attach the door with the rollers that will stick up in there. And I haven't looked to see which kind we have yet. There's some that you can put the roller up there and then you put a piece on the door and it snaps into place. Those are the best, but sometimes they give you the rollers. So I gotta look to see which ones we got. The ones that we got are the ones that pop into place. Let me show you. There you go. So the little nub on these rollers, so there are 4 rollers, 4 wheels on each one. It's got this little nub right here. This little space. This snaps up into here. Maybe I'll show that to you again later. That means we can put our rollers on now and have the door snap in later on. That's cool. What it also does is it has an adjustment here so that you can screw it up or screw down accordingly. There we go. So much better than the pocket doors of yesteryear. Okay, now that we got those in, we also have these little guide plates. These little guides that go down on the floor, and what they do is they guide the door into the pocket. So we'll install those a little bit later too. Just a bunch of screws. So we're almost done. Probably the best way to do this is put a chalk line down on the floor. Perfect.
So as you can see here, I've got that clip in a little bit further from the edge, because if you look at the end of the rail, there's a little distance and you don't want this door to fall off. So we're going to push it in a little bit further. Here on the other side, I've gone ahead and put it in, but if you notice there's also the distance on this side too. So I put this side in already, so let's put in the other side together. So this is a little hard to do with the camera in one hand and pushing this in, but all you got to do is snap it up in place. And it should be able to keep the door low enough that it doesn't hit this top bar. Now on this side, I want you to look at this white clip. This is what locks that pin in place. So make sure you have your pins locked so the door doesn't fall down. Just as you can see, this one's also locked in place. So we're good to go. And voila, just like that, we have a pocket door. Hey folks, I hope you enjoyed today's program. If you have any questions about real estate or real estate investing, feel free to hit me up in the comments or via my website for a personal message. And I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.